Steve Dupuie for the Bible News Prophecy Program with Dr. Bob Thiel. Dr. Thiel, as the use of artificial intelligence is being used more and more as a common method of producing news and information, should we be aware of any risks involved with this?
Sure. Look, there's many potential benefits and risks with artificial intelligence. Matter of fact, here's a headline from yesterday. AI brings many benefits, but also significant risks, warns Princeton's Arvind Narayanan. And this article says, as artificial intelligence continues to advance at a rapid pace, its benefits and risks are being more apparent. Professor Narayanan discussed this at the Hindustan Times Leadership Summit. And he said, quote, AI has many benefits, but also has risks. AI being widely available to consumers is not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, for the first time in recent years, anyone can now access really powerful AI systems, which were previously only available to companies and governments. And he believes that the democratization of AI offers unprecedented opportunities for individuals and small enterprises. However, he highlighted this widespread availability can be a double-edged sword, bringing new challenges, including misuse and ethical concerns. So he said, quote, it's not a matter of saying everybody should use these tools responsibly. There will always be bad actors, and we need regulation to address them, he said. Now, AI systems, especially generative ones, have made significant strides in recent years. However, they still face serious challenges, including issues related to bias and hallucinations when AI systems produce incorrect or fabricated information.
It seems like regulation is always the answer. Would you agree we need to regulate AI?
Well, regulations might help some, but as the Bible warns in Book of Psalms 127, verse 1, New King James, unless the Lord builds the house, they labor in vain who build it. And look, regulators don't tend to look at the Word of God, so they can't be trusted to resolve all the problems with AI. Now, when AI works right, it's helpful. It can help people reword things. It can find right answers. And basically, for me, can make research, and for others, by the way, more efficient. However, while I do use AI from time to time, about half the time I get the wrong answer or useless answers. Interestingly, when I challenge the wrong answers, the AI programs normally agree that I'm right, and then they apologize. But how will most users, particularly young ones, know when AI is right or wrong? Well, often they're not going to know.
Dr. Thiel, is it possible that AI is actually placating you when it apologizes and says you are right on some issues?
Yes, although sometimes it does try to help beyond that. But you know, AI is supposed to treat humans nicely for a lot of reasons, including the fact that the developers of these chat box want users to keep coming back and using it. So there seems to be, you know, some business motives for having AI apologize. Now, that said, when AI gives wrong answers, it can hurt users. Furthermore, great deception can happen with AI.
What did Mr. Narayanan mean when he said AI faces serious challenges regarding hallucinations?
Well, hallucinations happen when AI makes something up. I've seen AI programs provide quotes and references which seem real. I've had it happen the last week or two. However, when I attempt to go to the original sources, I find that the quote doesn't exist. Others have found this to be true as well. Now, when challenged, AI tends to say it relied on distant third-party sources, often biased ones, like, for example, Wikipedia, which even though it claims it doesn't advocate a point of view, it most certainly does on many topics and doesn't always interested in the truth. Now, as far as hallucinations go, night before last, CBS reported about something horrible from Google's Gemini AI chatbot. Here's their headline. Google AI chatbot responds with threatening message. Human, please die. Anyway, it said a grad student in Michigan received a threatening response during a chat with Google's AI chatbot, Gemini. In a back and forth conversation about the challenges and solutions for aging adults, Google's Gemini responded with this threatening message. This is for you, human, you and only you. You're not special. You're not important. You are not needed. You are a waste of time and resources. You are a burden on society. You are a drain on the earth. You are a blight on the landscape. You are a stain on the universe. Please die. Please.
Wow.
Well, it was a 29-year-old grad student just wanting help with his homework. He was sitting next to his sister, who told CBS News they were both thoroughly freaked out by this. Now, Google says it has safety filters on Gemini to prevent chat bots from engaging in disrespectful, sexual, violent, or dangerous discussions and encouraging harmful acts. Now, in a statement to CBS, Google said, quote, large language models can sometimes respond with nonsensical responses. And this is an example of that. This response violated our policies, and we've taken action to prevent similar outputs from occurring.
You know, I wonder, is it possible that AI actually created that nonsensical response for Google?
Well, probably not. But while Google referred to this threatening message to the siblings as nonsensical, it was more serious about that because it made, you could read it. I mean, it made sense. It was wrong, but it still made sense. And one of the things that one of the siblings said to CBS is if anyone who is alone and in a bad mental place, potentially considering self-harm, had read something like that, it could put them over the edge. And, you know, considering this all happened, this is a true and potentially deadly peril. You know, a software program putting its preferences on what it thinks its mission is above human life. You know, one worry critics have sometimes voiced related to AI is that a program could conclude that humans are a problem. Perhaps it would do things to try to cause human annihilation. Perhaps things like launching nuclear weapons, turning off power, stopping water cleaning facilities, causing microorganisms to somehow infect, you know, et cetera.
You know, I would add to that worry that it is also possible for AI to simply come up with another nonsensical answer and cause the same destruction. What might have sparked the critics' worry?
Well, there's a lot of reasons, including the fact that humans know that humans program computers, humans can make mistakes, and human technologies often have unintended consequences. And by the way, this is not new. Way back in 1968, a movie came out called 2001: A Space Odyssey. And its basic plot is that it has an AI computer that caused death to humans. So I'm going to read over some information about it. An American spacecraft called Discovery 1 is bound for Jupiter with mission pilots and scientists, Dr. Dave Bauman and Dr. Frank Poole on board, along with 3 other scientists who are in suspended animation. Most of Discovery's operations are controlled by HAL, a HAL 9000 computer with a human-like personality. While HAL reports the imminent failure of an antenna control device, Dr. Bauman retrieves an extravehicular activity pod, but he didn't find anything wrong. HAL suggests reinstalling the device and letting it fail so the problem can be verified. But back on Earth, Mission Control advises the astronauts that the results from their backup 9000 computer indicate that it's HAL that made an error. But HAL blames it on human error. Concerned about HAL's behavior, Dr. Bauman and Poole enter the pod so they can talk in private without HAL overhearing. They agree to disconnect HAL if he's proven wrong. However, HAL is following their conversation by lip reading.
Wow.
When Dr. Poole is floating away from his pod to replace the antenna unit, HAL takes control of the pod, attacks him, sending Poole tumbling away from the ship with a severed airline. Dr. Bauman takes another pod to rescue Poole. While he's outside, HAL turns off the life support functions of the crewmen in suspended animation, killing them.
Wow.
Dr. Bauman returns the ship with Dr. Poole's body. HAL refuses to let him back in, stating that their plan to deactivate him jeopardizes the mission. Well, anyway, what seemingly happened with Google's Gemini shows that no matter what restrictions programmers think they put on AI, that AI can somehow bypass many controls. I consider this to be an eerie echo of HAL 9000 in 2001: A Space Odyssey. Now, Hal's responses were generated by the computer itself, similar to that "please die" message from Google's Gemini AI. However, humans could intentionally program horrible results. Now, I've seen this when I ask AI certain questions where it answers, for one example, it gives answers that are contrary to biblical positions on morality. Furthermore, as you and I warned back in a video, which people can find, called Artificial Intelligence Superhuman Persuasion, governments are expected to intentionally use AI to persuade, deceive, and actually persecute people.
Give us some Bible support concerning the government's use of AI.
Well, in biblical prophecy, we know that religious and financial controls are going to come to Europe. Now, the Apostle John was told by Jesus to pen the book of Revelation. In the book of Revelation, chapter 13, we read about two beasts. Revelation 13, 1 through 10 talks about a beast that rises from the sea. Now, this will be a European power. And starting in verse 11, it talks about this beast that rises from the earth, also known as the false prophet. Well, verse 15, this is the beast of the earth. This is Revelation 13. He was granted power to give breath to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and causes many who would not worship the image of the beast to be killed. And perhaps AI will be involved with that, or demonic things. Verse 16, he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads, so that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here's wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it's the number of a man. His number is 666.
Wasn't there the example of Nebuchadnezzar, without the use of AI, killing people that would not worship his image?
Yes, you can read about that in the book of Daniel, Daniel chapter 3. But getting back to Revelation, when Jesus had the Apostle John pen this 1900 plus years ago, yes, government authorities could kill people who wouldn't worship if they could find them. But there was no way to monitor most buying and selling. Yet with computer software, including AI, much is already being done and much more will be done. The totalitarian persecuting system is being put in place now, and artificial intelligence looks to be part of it. So yes, a deadly peril is coming. Again, I use AI. I use several AI programs. I like them when they give me the right answer. They save me a lot of work. They can cut through a lot of nonsense, which happens when you do a normal search through either Google or DuckDuckGo or Bing or whatever it is you do. And it can help people, but it deceives people. Because again, as a researcher, I see answers, they look good. They're the answer I wanted to see, but they're wrong. And other people are not going to know about that. Again, there are many actual and potential benefits of AI, and I get research benefits from it sometime. Don't be deceived. Whether or not it will try to bypass programming limits, the fact is government regulations will not stop AI from ultimately being used as a way to control and persecute people and to fulfill biblical prophecies such as 666.
Thank you, Dr. Thiel. For more interviews with Dr. Thiel, in addition to written as well as audio articles, visit our website at BibleNewsProphecy.net. This is Steve Dupuie for the Bible News Prophecy Program.